It is finally September, which I was so excited for, but then I got sick. I have been so sick these past few days. That's actually why it's taken me so long to get this video up for you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sit here and go through all the books that I want to read in one sitting because I've been getting tired hella fast, but I did want to sit down and film this video today because it is a long overdue. So just bear with me if my energy is low in this video and if I sound weird or congested or out of breath, it's because I am. But let's just talk about all the books that I want to read this September. I narrowed down my September TBR to about 10 books. I think there's 10 books in this pile. I don't even know. But I narrowed down my list. There's actually a lot of books that I want to read in September, but realistically, I only like to keep my TBR list to around 10 books just so I don't overwhelm myself throughout the month. And that way I don't set myself up for failure, you know? But the first book that I want to read in September is Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller. If you watched my August reading wrap-up video, then you know that I read Daughter of the Pirate King in August and I absolutely loved that book. So I'm really excited to read the sequel. This book follows Pirate Alosa on yet another adventure. I'm just super excited to find out what Alosa is up to in this book. I loved her character in the first book. I'm not going to dive too much into what this book is about because in case you haven't read Daughter of the Pirate King, I don't want to ruin that book for you. But if you're into pirates and really enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, definitely check out this book because you're not going to regret it. I absolutely love this series. The next book that I want to read in September is Bully by Penelope Douglas. This is my first Penelope Douglas book. I've never read any of her other books and I feel like based on some of your comments, her books are quite controversial. Some people love them, other people absolutely hate them, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about her books at all. This book basically follows Tate, who is being bullied by her former guy best friend. They used to be really close as kids, but out of nowhere, I guess they stopped being best friends and he started bullying her and has made her life a living hell. So much so that Tate felt the need to go away for an entire year, and now that she's back after that 1 year being away, she's determined to not let her former best friend continue to bully her, and she's determined to stand up for herself and to fight back. I've passed by this book a couple times and I never picked it up because the synopsis didn't really seem that interesting to me. I was like, how could your former best friend turn into a bully? And I know that this is a romance novel, so I can already see the plot taking place, and I don't know if I can 100% get behind the plot, especially if this guy, her love interest, has bullied her so much these past few years. But I am going to give it a chance. I'm going to go into it with an open mind. I'm going to lower my expectations and just give Penelope Douglas a chance. And if I enjoyed this book, then I'll definitely check out the rest of the books in the series. This is actually a book that I don't hear a lot of people talking about either, so I'm really curious to see what it has to offer. The next book that I want to read this month is One of Us Is Next. This is actually the sequel to One of Us Is Lying. I read One of Us Is Lying a few months ago and I think I gave it a 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed that book a lot. I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was going to hate it, if I'm being honest. So I'm actually really excited to read this one. I've been saving it for the fall because, you know, the fall is all about the murder, mystery, thrillers type of books. One of Us Is Next actually follows a different group of friends from the first book. Let me just read the synopsis because it's been a while since I've bought this book. Phoebe is the first target. If you choose not to play, it's a truth, and hers is dark. Then comes Maeve, and she should know better. Always choose to dare. By the time Knox is about to be tagged, things have gotten dangerous. The dares have become deadly, and if Maeve learned anything from Bronwyn last year, is that you can't count on the police for help or protection. Simon's gone, but someone's determined to keep his legacy at Bayview High alive. And this time, there's a whole new set of rules. This book is giving me Pretty Little Liars vibes, so I'm actually really excited, and I'll definitely let you guys know my thoughts on this book. Hopefully it's just as good as the first one, or even better. The next book that I want to read is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I actually started reading this book last month, and I didn't get that far into it, not because I didn't enjoy the book, I just really didn't have time to finish it, so I am planning to finish it this month. This is basically about a ghostwriter named Florence who is struggling to write her next romance book. She recently got out of a breakup that has her questioning love. Essentially, she doesn't believe in love anymore. When she goes to her new editor and asks for an extension on her deadline, her new editor declines and it's like, you're not getting an extension. I want your book in by the deadline. deadline, no exceptions. And in the midst of all of that, she gets a phone call from her family that her dad passed away. So she has to go back to the town where she's from and bury her father. While she's, dealing with her father's funeral, she sees the ghost of her editor. So her editor is now dead. And she has to figure out what her editor's unfinished business is while still trying to deal with all of her own personal problems with her father's death, with her family problems, all of that. I feel like this book is definitely going to have me in tears by the end. I don't know. I just have a feeling that I'm going to cry my eyes out. And because it deals with a ghost, I feel like this is perfect for the fall, even if it doesn't take place in the fall, just because it deals with the ghostly vibes. The next book that I want to read this month is actually another book that I've already started. I started this book during my plane ride to San Antonio, Texas. I didn't finish it. I think I only got to chapter 12, and that book is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This is my first Lauren Asher book. This author is super, super highly recommended by so many of you guys, and I've just never had a chance to pick up one of her books. This book basically follows a billionaire who is tasked by his grandfather to renovate their family's amusement park. He actually ends up kissing the person that he hired to help him renovate the amusement park. So it's like a workplace romance, and from what I've read so far, it is Grumpy Sunshine, which I really, really love that trope. I would have finished it by now had I not gotten sick. So excited to continue reading this in September. The next book that I want to read is actually the final book from the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and that is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. As many of you guys know, I was not a fan of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder at all, but then I read the second book in the series and actually fell in love with it. So really looking forward to starting this book in September. This book is actually pretty huge. I didn't realize when I ordered it online that it was the large print version. It is bigger than my head, you guys, and the text is so big. I honestly was not expecting that, but I think this is the only paperback version of this book that is out there, so I picked it up because I really did not want the hardcover version. This one basically follows Pip, who is about to head to college, and unlike the other books in the series where Pip is investigating murders and disappearances of other people, in this book she is investigating her own stalker. I've heard so many good things about this book. A lot of you guys have told me that this is the best book in the series, so really excited to see if what y'all are saying is true. Definitely going to be reading this very early on this month. This next book is highly recommended by so many of you guys. When I filmed my fall book recommendation video, I asked you guys for some of your fall book recommendations, and so many of you guys suggested that I should read The Axe Hacks by Erin Sterling. I actually don't even know what this book is about, if I'm being honest. I purchased it because so many of you guys recommended it to me. So let's read the synopsis together. 9 years ago, Vivian Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka, weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. Sure, Vivi knows she shouldn't use her magic this way, but with only an orchid hayride scented candle on hand, she isn't worried it will cost him anything more than a bad hair day or two. That is until Reese Penhollow, descendant of the town's ancestors, breaker of hearts, and annoyingly just as gorgeous as he always was, returns to Grave Glen, Georgia. What should be a quick trip to recharge the town's ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall fair turns disastrously wrong. Soon, Vivi realizes her silly little axe hacks may not have been so harmless after all. Suddenly, Graves Glen is under attack from murderous wind-up toys, a pissed-off ghost, and a talking cat with some interesting things to say. Vivi and Reese have to ignore their off-the-charts chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. This sounds like it's going to be such a fun book to read in the fall. My expectations are super high because, again, so many of you guys recommended this book to me, so I'm really, really excited. And I love that it's set in the fall and it has like the Halloween themes of witches and ghosts. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this book so much. Really looking forward to starting that. This next book, I am so excited to start. If you have been watching my channel for a while, you know that The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood is one of my all-time favorite books. And in August, Miss Ali Hazelwood Hazelwood actually released another book, and that is Love on the Brain. I am so excited to start reading this book. Like I said, I absolutely fell in love with Hazelwood's writing and the love hypothesis. I cannot wait to start this book. I actually don't know much about it because I've stayed clear from any spoilers. I did not want to watch any reading vlogs. I haven't watched anyone talk about this book because, again, I wanted to stay far away from any spoilers. This one's basically about like an avenging purple-haired Jedi bringing balance to the mansplained universe. B lives by a simple code. What would Marie Curie do? If NASA offered Marie her dream neuroengineering project, she would accept without hesitation. Duh. But the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. Sure, Levi has soul-piercing eyes, and sure, he caught her in his powerfully corded arms like a romance novel hero when she accidentally damseled in distress on her first day in the lab. But Levi made his feelings toward B clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best when employed in their own galaxies far, far away. Now her equipment is missing, the staff ignores her, and B finds her floundering career in somewhat of a pickle. B could swear she can see Levi softening into an ally, backing her plays, devouring her with those eyes, and the possibilities have all her neurons firing. But when it comes time to actually make a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What will B? I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the girl's last name. Love hypothesis was very much fake dating. This seems like it's going to be a workplace romance mixed in with enemies to lovers, and I'm here for it. Let me know if you read this book in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. The final two books that I want to read in September, I actually plan to read on my Kindle. The first one is You Lost a Lot of Blood by Eric LaRocca. This is actually another highly recommended book by so many of you guys. The only synopsis that I could find on this book was, each precious thing I showed you in this book is a holy relic from the night we both perished, the night when I combed you from my hair and watered the moon with your blood. You've lost a lot of blood. ... That is the only synopsis I've been able to find on this book. I'm pretty sure this is horror, and that's pretty much all I know about this book. I decided to read it on my Kindle because it's actually a pretty short book. I think it only has like 234 pages if I remember correctly. Again, another book that is highly recommended by you guys, so I'm going to give it a chance even though I don't really know what to expect. I do think it's going to be a perfect book to read this fall though. It's giving me horror vibes. The next book that I want to read on my Kindle is the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until he can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aiden wakes up in the body of a different guest at Blackheath Manor, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. This is giving me like Clue vibes. You guys know the board game Clue when you have to figure out who the murderer is? That's what this book is giving me. I'm actually super excited because one, I actually really love the Clue board game. My husband and I play it all the time. I feel like this is also going to be another great book to read in the fall, and it's actually free on Amazon Prime Reading. So if you have a Amazon Prime membership, you can read this book for free. Just download the Kindle app and you can download it. And that was actually recommended by one of you guys as well, so I decided to check it out, and as soon as I read the synopsis, I was like, I 100% am reading this in September. Alright you guys, somehow I made it through filming this video. I'm probably going to go to sleep now because I'm so tired. I absolutely hate being sick. It makes me so mad when I get sick, so I'm not having a good time over here, but hopefully within the next few days I should feel a lot better. But get excited for a bunch of September content. I have so many fall video ideas planned that I just need to film once I feel better. But that is pretty much it. Those are all the books that I plan to read in September. Let me know in the comments below what's on your September TBR. I would love to know, and if you have any other fall book recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to check them out. And that is pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you a part of my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.